What's good, Flow State Jedis? Now, I'm guessing a lot of you have some bad breakups in the mix, okay? I know, okay? We've all been there. It's difficult talking about this topic, for sure, because I've had a couple of bad breakups that I think have definitely shaped me as a man, made me more of who I wanted to be. I've created and transmuted the breakup into a breakthrough. You guys have seen that meditation on my channel if you guys have done it. Understand something. You're not lonely right now, you are free. There's somebody that would kill to be in your position right now. What are the lessons and the mistakes that you made in that relationship? That you made, not what the other person made. Yes, they might have made a lot of mistakes, and maybe it was a toxic relationship that even put you into a supernova of an attachment style. Looking back, I realized that my anxious avoidant attachment style was because of this unhelpful masculine-feminine dynamic. I wasn't playing my role, she wasn't playing her role. We were both unhappy. There's a lot of chaos in relationships, okay? There's a lot of enmeshment. That means as you feel what another person feels. It's like you have very less boundaries in the relationship, and so it kind of anything goes in a sense, and your ideas become merged with their ideas, your friends become merged with their friends, and this codependence and enmeshment trap kind of takes over. Now, you could have been a person who just kind of is emotionally distant too. We all have these issues to work on after a relationship ends. And it's mainly filling that missing void or that missing piece that the other person left. That's primarily because your identity gets merged with another person's as you hang around them, right? You feel the sense of they have a part of you now, right? And they've left with that part of you, and now you have to re-find that part of you that feels like it's missing. Obviously, people will tell you things like love yourself. I would actually get yourself to practice self-presence in the mirror and just look at the mirror. Find out love for yourself. See how you're talking to yourself in your own mind, because that's what's going to truly bring you these greater gifts. There's a reason why the relationship didn't work and why it's not there today, right? So you got to acknowledge that. You got to acknowledge that there were red flags in the relationship as well as green flags in the relationship. A lot of us, we don't look at the green flags, we only look at the red. But how else will we learn how to be better people and how to trust somebody else when we don't do the inner work ourselves, when we don't trust ourselves with our decisions? We need to be at a solid mental space where a relationship makes you feel more peace rather than more chaos. Of course, there's going to be arguments sometimes, but if that's a regular thing, then there are things that you aren't looking at. Someone else's projection of their obsessive nature, someone else's neediness that comes from their, own parenting roles that they looked at growing up. Like, you get what I'm saying? There's a lot of complications with just a breakup. It's not just a breakup, it's your whole life now has to be reorganized. And that might seem very overwhelming, and like, I have this other task and I don't think I'll be able to trust anybody again after that, or deal with this nonsense. I get that mindset, but start to understand that a relationship is there to support you. What is the vision of your life? What is the purpose of your life? Okay? And start to understand that relationship could have been supporting that mission of yours. Instead, it took more away from it probably, right? So we have to find a right blend of our passion with another person. Because a passion becomes very much so about me. This is my thing. You can't understand it. You'll never understand it, You don't let that person enter that world. But what if they could? What if you taught them? What if they were sincere enough that they actually got to merge their reality with your reality? What if you started to trust yourself again? What if you started to trust people again? If you have bad incidences, you set up these general rules. And these general rules set up in your mind what is called as distortions, okay, cognitive distortions. So how you're thinking oftentimes is not accurate to what the reality is. The reality is you could take it easier on yourself, you could, have better self-care, you could go out a little bit and start socializing, because being around other energies, you're going to absorb those energies if you're an empath, right? So this is what I've recognized, like just being around an environment sometimes that's lively or very positive or bubbly in its atmosphere feels good. It feels good being around certain areas where it's upbeat or there's a lot of good vibes, good entertainment, a feeling of safety, a feeling of community, a feeling of reservoir, of a safe space that you created internally and externally. There's gonna feel a time where you feel defensive, where you feel hurt, where you feel untrusting of other people, when you feel that, man, this thing could have been so beautiful, but you had to go and do what you did, or you had to go and ruin this thing. Very annoying when you build something so beautiful with somebody and it crumbles away from you. It feels bad, right? And I think that it's never easy to really understand, but what you can do is you can forgive yourself for what you've done, if you have done anything that you feel like, is unethical or feels like it was out of character, out of pocket of you. Just forgive yourself of that, Like, it's not going to be easy, obviously, but it's going to teach you what life is really about, which is reconciliation. Getting back to a baseline, getting back to a normal, right? Of course, you form a close bond with someone, especially if you're sharing genetic material with them, okay? You guys know what I mean. A lot of the times, I give away my pure energy to people who are undeserving of it, and I recognize that. Now I know it's a privilege to be in this energy, to feel good and give this energy to people. It feels good, right? It feels good. Today I'm starting wrestling, and I feel this kind of hesitation emerging already because I haven't fought in a while. But I know that this is going to be a big breakthrough for me as I do this. That too, I have to do a client session before that as I step into that. So that's going to be interesting too, maybe transmute that energy out on the mats. I'm still integrating the channeling from the other day. That was very heavy. Think about this. What is the actual break up, right? The break up is the breaking up of the ego, breaking up of the identity. Now there's new possibility, new emergence that can come through, a new character upgrade that's available to you on this life quest, exploring different maps, exploring different regions. I would tell you to avoid this comparison trap to anybody that you're interacting with. You think of your ex, stop doing that, first and foremost, okay? The world is way too big for you to focus on one person. It's way too big. The world is ginormous, my friends. How do you know that someone on another side of the world doesn't find you attractive and playful and wants to get into a relationship with you? How do you know that? You don't know that. That's the thing. You haven't explored this world fully. You've just been in your own little comfort zone box, and you think that, oh, my world is over because they, whoever they are gone. Until you heal the trauma of that breakup, and you do that by talking about it, right? What happened, man? Let's talk about it. You know what? I can't believe that she blah, blah, blah. But then again, as you're talking about it more and more and more, you're still perpetuating that. So you need the somatic release, right? The actual, the letting go that you feel within your body, right? And this is why we need to combine mind and body together. In my form of healing, I don't think just talking about it mentally can get rid of it. It can get rid of a mental block. And that's what a lot of coaches can do using NLP and all this technology of CBT. But what about the physical release? What about the spiritual release? What about the energetic release? You see, we need to focus on all 5 bodies if we're going to really deal with a breakup of this proportion. Because this person, you know, reflects different aspects of ourselves. And once we can see that, we can recognize that, and we can trust that the universe has some greater plan for us. There is something like this that is unexplainable happening. And that once you broadcast that, once you're ready for a relationship, you'll know. Because you'll find yourself in one, or you'll find an opportunity, or something will come up, or you feel an urgency to text somebody, or you'll do something, you'll make some form of a move. You haven't made some form of a move and you feel stagnant because the energy is stuck right now. So you need to rev that energy up, use the anger and put it into your own thing, your own workouts, your own how to find my own self-love again. You need to take this stagnant chi, or the stagnant energy, and start moving it around. Okay? Now you're the master of this. Now you can control it. You can manipulate the wave of emotions as it's coming through you. A great reframe I like to think is, this person taught me what I needed to learn. And that was our whole process of just like getting these wisdom dakinis, you know, back into matches, into dates, and Primal Sutra protocol, right? We were just thinking about, hey, if we meet all these women and if we're dating, you know, we're gonna learn something new. It's God using me for character development again. Uh-oh, okay, here we go again. Hey, give me all of it. I want to be the very best that no one ever was, Pokemon, right? I want to do that. So if I want to be greater at social dynamics and interacting with others, I'm going to have to put in my time doing that, right? And really understanding where this other person is coming from, because they're not the same as you. Different zodiac, different upbringing, you know, different genes, hopefully. But understand, they're there to teach you something. They're there to awaken something within you. And they're there to point out to you where in your life feels resistant, feels unaligned, feels fake. I honestly think some of my exes were dakinis because they taught me the truth. It was difficult. It wasn't fucking easy to do that. To hold a temper tantrum in the middle of the street. Or to avoid her from, you know, getting violent with her anger. See, I have these traumatic memories from my breakups, like being locked out of my apartment, or just random, you know, moments of feeling powerless. And of course that anger put me into such a bitch-ass state, right? Where I start crying and I don't know what to do, and it feels like, you know, relationships bring up that fear of mommy, okay? That fear comes up. Why? Because for a man, you're dealing with the divine feminine. You're dealing with the feminine energy, and that was your mother. You have to heal your mother wound in order to connect with the opposite gender. And women, you need to heal your father wound in order to connect with the opposite gender, okay? It just is what it is. This is why you feel like when you're in stress, what do you think about? I wish I had my dad in this situation. He would know what to do, right? Because that's your idea of masculine energy. What you're really saying is, I don't need my dad. I need masculine energy to protect me. And the thing is, you need to be your dad. You need to have dad frame and dad energy. And you need to also be your mom in this situation. Your inner feminine, you need to connect with it. Because after a breakup, your idea has been distorted. Like there's certain ideas in that relationship that perpetuated a feeling of lack, or a feeling of fear, or a feeling of like, this person doesn't support me, or other friendships of theirs are more important than our relationship, or, you know, there's so many different things that can come about and so many different types of complications that can come in, right? But we can't let our own judgments, insecurities, assumptions, cognitive distortions make this relationship into a weird thing. when it can be so healthy and sustainable too. Okay? It's about trusting each other and communicating and, speaking about our core needs and understanding what's going on here. Okay? It's about understanding that this person has a different love language than me. Okay, I'm gonna try to change that. As all of these lessons are coming in and integrating, now when you're interacting with a new person, you have all of this information, right? But it's not until you put it into practical use that you're gonna actually notice some things, and you're gonna notice some changes in you. So really start to bring that energy up. You're being called, you're being summoned to do something. After this breakup, what is that thing? There's oftentimes a thing that will guide you, and you need to double down and believe and trust in that. Live in the moment. Try and practice living in the moment. What's going on right now, just today, in this millisecond, right in this time, right now. All those reminders of them, you've got to reassociate those things, okay? Let's say you have a symbolism of a black rose that reminds you of your ex. You've got to re-symbolize that. You've got to reinterpret that. You've got to reassociate that black rose with something else, like a band or something else, right? You can't hold on to these cobwebs anymore. You get what I'm saying? You got to be free. When you're free, you give yourself permission to be who you truly are, and you feel this expansiveness and this presence. You're not walking around eggshells. Right? That's what I felt like in my relationship after a while. Like I was walking around eggshells. That's not a way to be as a man. No fucking way. Okay? The masculine energy is freedom. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want. I'm going to move forward with it. I'm going to enjoy my life, right? Let's fucking go. I'm going to enjoy my life. I'm going to be better. I'm going to grow as a man. I'm going to evolve in my adaptation. I'm going to heal and become the most integrated version of me. End of story. Or maybe the beginning of the story, right? If it's an end of a chapter of a breakup, now there's a new story. But you hold the pen. So what is the narrative that you're telling yourself of this breakup? Oh, I cheated on this person. I feel so bad. I'm a bad person. Is that an effective belief? Or is it an effective belief I was at such a low level of consciousness that I ended up doing this thing and I was dumb and I was young and I wasn't considerate enough about this other person's feelings in that moment because I was just trusting my impulses and desires. Okay? That seems more realistic, but also empowering enough that you can actually calculate, break that down, and make that a part of your storyline that, well, yeah, I have a past history of cheating. Not that I do, but, if you do, in that case, like, I have a past history of this, it means this empowering storyline. And now you have this gravitational pull. I've got this, man. Okay? Got this under my control. This is all mine to play around with. This is my play stuff. The imagination, the storylines, everything. I can find the most beautiful version of the reality that I truly prefer and double down on it. I don't need to go based on what other people think about it. I don't. Okay? I just need to have the empathy to understand where this other person is coming from. Hold space. Obviously, respect other people's boundaries. Respect your own boundaries. And love them from a distance if you want, okay? But I'm not going to sit here and tolerate some memories of some random girl that keeps popping up. It just makes me feel bad, in a sense, okay? Dude, being around a hot woman, being in a relationship, that validates us so much. It fulfills our ego. It makes us feel good, right? Hey, all my friends are noticing, hey, man, this is my chick, dude. Oh, that feels so good, right? Saying that. Having that ownership as a man, that this is my person. All of these are good feelings, but guess what? If you don't have self-ownership, if you don't have self-responsibility, if you don't love yourself, how are you going to love another person? If you don't trust yourself, how are you going to trust another person? It's time to get your life in order so you can get your relationships back in order. And that's what it's always been. Your life quality is not permeating and broadcasting that I want to meet and connect with another person. It's not broadcasting that. The aura, the chi, the energy isn't that. The energy that's being broadcast right now is, I'm kind of in my head about it. I'm not really sure. Oh, that hookup was kind of nice, that fling once, but you're in this soup. Whereas you need some new reference experiences, some more meeting with strangers, some more late nights, okay? Sneaking into movie theaters. You need the fun again. You need that spark, that spontaneity. You need to find some new friends, male friends and female friends, okay? We need both genders. And you need to start to engage with this life. Stop running from it. Stop avoiding it. Engage with it. Love it. Love yourself. You've got this. Upward Spiral Gang. May we never be the same again. If you need my help in getting over this, I'm a coach. I've been through it myself, so I can fucking help you, okay? Have an incredible day. May the flow be with you, and let's get it. Upward Spiral Gang. May we never be the same again. Let's go.